Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the in the SSRF. No, not the SSRF. In the sensitive data exposure section, I mentioned the execute after redirect. And if you go to this level, which I will, so this is the level. I'm going to go access this level. And so what you're going to do is you're going to poke around in this level. You're going to log in using your credentials. And then what you're going to try and do is see if you can access something in Carlos's account that might leak Carlos's API key. And so the idea is if the web application has done a redirect because you're not Carlos, but then allowed Carlos's script to actually execute and return the API key, then you can get Carlos's API. And that's the idea of this level. And so the goal is to find Carlos's API key and then submit it as a solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my account first, and I'm going to log in with the credentials I'm given. And so this is my my account. And so what I'll do is I'll bring up the developer tools on this thing. And then if you look at the developer tools, actually, let me log out again. And let me not preserve the log. Sorry. And so you see as before, you get the login, which is a post, and it redirects you back to my location. If it's a valid login, it will redirect you to my account. And then if you see your account is up here. And it will eventually give you, so this is the form data I submitted, and then it'll eventually get you to this page. And so when you get to the My Account page, you'll see the result right here. So now I'm logged in as this particular user. One of the things that we saw before was that there is the ability to specify in this. You can see, like, if I clicked on My Account, I go to /my account, $ID is equal to my user ID. So what happens if I instead pretended to be Carlos, which is what I'll do. So I'm going to try and do a direct object access onto Carlos's account. And so we saw this before where the access control isn't protected between users. In this case, it's kind of protected. Because I am not Carlos, it's going to try and redirect me to a login page so I can actually authenticate as Carlos. But I want to show you in the browser what goes on here. So I'm trying to get Carlos's page. And so I'll do this, and it'll redirect me to the login page. And so what you want here is in the redirect, you want to make sure that nothing is leaked in the redirect. And now I mentioned earlier how browsers are better at not giving you any response. So failed to load response data. It's going to get rid of that from the response, because really on a 302, basically this 302 that we saw here, there shouldn't be anything returned except the location header, right? That should be the only thing. But in this case, extra information is leaked. And so now I want to go to the program. You can get at the actual payload that's returned in Python requests. So here is a script where I fill in the site that I'm using, which is here. I create a new session. I get the CSRF. So this one did have a CSRF token in the web page. Why is this thing not? I swear one of these days I'll figure out UIs better than this. Oh, I see. There we go. That gets me better UI control. Okay, so then I'll log in as the account I'm giving, and then I'll try and retrieve the Carlos account. And then what I'm going to do is I need the raw response. I don't want Python requests to automatically follow the redirect. And so by setting this allow redirects to false, I get the raw response back. And then I can print the status code, which is hopefully the 302. And I can print the headers as well. And then I can actually print that payload response, the thing that was blanked out in the developer tools. And then I'm going to exit. So let me run this thing. And it'll install the packages. Okay, so this is the first one. This is the result. So it's a 302. The location is /login. And then the payload and the response, if I hit the carriage return, it should be blank. But you see, I got a whole page back, right? And I got a whole page back with my username as Carlos. And then it gives me a CSRF token, and it gets me an API key. And then moreover, as part of this script, you can actually, on this response, and so I've automated the solution of this, it parses this out. So it does an RE compile to find a div that contains the text API. And then I split the fields and get the fourth element. And so if you look at this document, you see a div. Within the text is a string API. And then you take the 0, 1, 2, 3, and fourth element from this div. And then this is the API key. And so in my script, that's what I end up doing. I print the API key, and then I fill out the submit solution form. It's got the form submission is just done with just a regular form, and I submit it with the answer field. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this program, and then let me see, where's my tab for solving this? Let me go over here. I run this here, and then this should just solve automatically. But it didn't. Whoops. What is this? Oh, I have to hit return, sorry.
I was gonna say, didn't you have a prompt there?
Yeah, all right, there it is. Dang, I forgot I put the prompt there so it wouldn't spit it out. Okay, so that's that one. And I think that's the only, there's another one where you have to write a for loop that brute forces all of the IP addresses in like a range of 1 to 255. But I think that for loop should be pretty easy for you to write. So I won't go over that one. All right, so that's the one from there. Let me then go to the next one. Okay, so these are the SSRF ones. Let me end this. Okay, so oh wait, sorry. That was the access control level. I am going to do the SSRF ones and do the loop, I think. The first one is a basic SSRF against a backend system. So let me go there. So that's this one. Okay, so this has got an SSRF. It's got a stock check feature that takes in a URL to fetch data from an internal system. And because it uses a URL to get data from this internal system, you can point that URL to any number of IP addresses on the back end to find whether or not any of those backend machines has the admin interface to delete the Carlos account. Now, this admin interface, it's on a private network, right? It doesn't have a public IP address, but because you're proxying connections through a server that has access to the internal network, this allows you to proxy the delete Carlos request over to the admin panel. But the first thing you need to do is write a script that indexes all of the IP addresses to figure out, to discover what IP address has the admin panel. And that's what we'll walk through a little bit of this. But I wanted to show you the site as it runs. So here is one of the products. I need that, so I don't have to leave my bed to run class. So here is the stock check facility. So if I inspect this button, you can see that there is a stock API form. And when you click on this stock API, you see the actual URLs. So the IP address of the actual thing that's doing the inventory is at this private IP address. Now, you can't obviously directly go to this private IP address. This is not a globally routable IP address. This only has context within the stock check server itself, because that's where it has private IP addresses that it connects to on that network. And so you can see that these URLs are how the stock check is being done. So if I submit this, I do a check stock on London, and it will result in this thing being sent across. So let me do that. One of the things you'll see is this is a standard post request. This is the endpoint of the stock check /product/stock. And this is going to be done using a regular form. So I'm going to click check stock here. And it says 838 units. I'm going to go over to the network and find this request. And so this is this obviously is an AJAX request. And I click on this, and you can see this is the URL endpoint for the stock API /product/stock. And then you can see in the payload, you can see the form submission. It's got a single named parameter, stock API, and it's just got a URL. And this is the URL you saw in that form. Okay. So this leads me to the script. This is the API endpoint. Once I fill in the site, actually, let me fill in the site. So this is the site name. Let me paste it. All right, that's the site name. And then this is the data, the form submission. And what I'm going to do is I am going to replay the actual London stock check. So this is the straight up URI. And then I'm going to post that data and then get the response code back. So this should give me exactly the same thing without solving the level. And then I'll run it. And you can see the response is now there's only 39 items. They must have sold fast. And I get a 200 code. Okay, so then, wow, I guess I did give you the entire script. So now what you want to do is you're given that there's an admin panel somewhere in this range, and there's some kind of admin interface. So there's a web server running an admin interface. And so then what you want to do in your script is to now do a brute force scan on all the IP addresses, looking for something that's on the 8080 port, because that's where the admin panel lives in the SSRF levels. When you do the earlier ones, you'll see that this is basically the same as the earlier ones. And you're looking for this to return a 200 code that gives you the HTML for the admin page. And that's what we're doing next. And then we're going to do this over all of the IP addresses. We're going to post that. We're going to check the status code. And then if it's 200, we're going to stop. Okay, so that you could run that if you wanted to, but I'm not going to run that. It's pretty straightforward. But that gives you the admin panel. You actually have to go and delete the Carlos account for the level to be solved. So I'll just leave the details up to you. I think that's probably reasonable enough if you get stuck there. All right, so let me now go to the next one I was going to talk about. The next one is an SSRF filter bypass via open redirection. So in this case, say you decide to protect the stock check API. You will allow list only the 192.168.0.1 host, and then block everything else. Then the question is how can you pull off the SSRF? And we covered unvalidated redirects and forwards in the previous class. This is going to give you an example where an open redirect, an unvalidated and open redirect, can then allow you to do an SSRF to find the admin interface. So again, this is combining multiple vulnerabilities together to launch this particular attack. So that's what I'm going to do next. Whoops. This is the one. Don't need that one. Open redirection, pop up this link and then get the URL. I will copy this into the page. Okay, so to solve this lab, the stock check URL accesses the admin interface on this. So they even give you the URL so you don't have to brute force it, and you need to access it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and access it, and maybe we can just do this directly on the stock check panel and see what we get. And that's basically what this script is going to do. Let me get rid of this. So this is my target, my admin URL page. This is the stock check URI. In fact, maybe I'll just, rather than debug this thing, we're just going to run this script directly, and I'll show you what's going on. Actually, you know, I will actually run this. So when you view the details of this thing and you inspect the stock check, you will see that the stock check form, it has these URIs in there, these relative URIs. And when you actually use an SSRF here, you'll see that it gets blocked. But what I wanted to show you on this page is that on this page, you can see at the bottom of this page a next product link. And if you click on the next product link, you can see that it goes to this product here. So you're like, oh, that's cool. It's got product navigation, and I can actually return to the list, go back into here. If you look at how this URL is implemented, if I copy this link address and then paste it, you can see that there is a path element here that specifies the URI of the thing to send you to after the fact. So what you're doing is that this next product route is going to take in as a parameter something that looks like a URI and then send you there. Because your destination is a product page. It's not a next product. It's actually the actual product. So then what you can do is see if the HTTP URI, which is .12, so you can see if that URI gets you anything. Oh, it doesn't because it's on the wrong port. It's on port 8080/admin, which I need to do if I didn't crash the level. Oh no, did I crash the level? Oh, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and, oh, let me go back. Sorry about this, I should have debugged this better. I'm gonna run the script actually, because I actually have to run. But like, this is the script. It basically, you wanna get here and then you're gonna try and do a direct SSRF.
I think
so we'll
you're
see
missing
this,
the
being
site.
run. I'm gonna implement, I'm gonna copy, oh shoot, I want to delete that, sorry. I'm going to copy this URI and I'll put it in here. And I'm going to run this. And the very first thing that I'm going to do is try the original SSRF and then print out the response, which is here. And then it says the response is an invalid checkstock URL because I have the HTTPS. Then I'm going to try an unvalidated redirect to some random website. And so you'll see this is the redirect of the next product thing. And I'm going to try and give it a URL to some random server. And then I'm going to do a request.get on the open redirect, which is here. And then you're going to see that this is going to be allowed. And so you can see this is the result of getting that website. So this just shows you that you have an unvalidated redirect. And so now what you can do is the open redirect is here. And you can see with the open redirect whether or not you can retrieve the admin URL. And then what you'll do is you'll basically, with the stock API data, the thing that actually has a restricted SSRF, you're going to basically use the open redirect path. And this is an internal route on the web application, so it's going to be allowed. And then what you're going to do is within that open redirect is when you'll redirect yourself to the admin page. And that's what this is going to do when I hit return. And then you can see you get the admin page with the delete account, and then you can then solve the level.